Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN Business. It was published on October 5th. It's written by Lydia DePhillis, who's part of CNN Business. And then we're also going to be taking a look at a couple of charts here from a CNBC article that I wanted to put together with it that was published also on October 5th and is written by John W. Scowen, because I want to show you this chart, and then I want to show you, we might take a look at this one, but the one up there and this one are the two that I want to show you, because there's some dishonesty going on here that needs to be addressed, because it's to fuck with the numbers a little bit, and gets called out by this over here. So anyway, let's listen to the audio clip here, the video clip here we'll watch really quick. And because for CNN to be saying this and not spurging out going, because of Obama, goes to show that they might actually know that they've been defeated on that one, maybe? I don't know. So let's take a watch here.
Another strong month for the labor market, and I want to give you this number first, the unemployment rate. 3.7%. That is the lowest unemployment rate since 1969. I just want you to think about that for a minute. I mean, this is a generational low here that we're seeing. This is essentially full employment. You've got 6 million people who want a job, 6 million people looking for a job. That's essentially a match in the labor market. Now, jobs created was a bit lighter than we'd expected, 134,000. That's the lowest in about a year, and that's because of Hurricane Florence. That might have disrupted those numbers. That compares with last September when there was also a hurricane. So you can see how those numbers play out there. These months were revised higher. So you've got really strong job creation here. Let me show you how that fits into the overall picture. Now with this new number, you're going to be up here, almost 2 million jobs created. We've had years now of steady job creation. The sectors here that are important to look at, business and information services, tend to be high-paid jobs. Healthcare, up and down the spectrum, all kinds of jobs there in healthcare, and that's been the case for about 8 years. Manufacturing, 18,000 net new jobs there. You guys, for the year, 278,000 manufacturing jobs. Also some jobs in mining. I think you can see the president's trade policies there. So looking at a bit of a resurgence in manufacturing. For more in-depth coverage of these jobs numbers, tech, media, finance, and the future, go to the new CNN Business, CNN.com.
Now, as you can see, CNN didn't spurg out and go, Obama. This is because of Obama's economy. You know, this is because of what Obama did when he was president 2 years ago. They even admitted that some of these jobs are due to the fact of Trump's policies. I'm surprised that they said that. I mean, I would say a lot more of it is due to it, you know, the overwhelming majority of it. But CNN actually kind of, this is shocking. They were kind of honest. Well, they're actually pretty damn honest, but they played down the Trump thing. Because, you know, when you're pushing Trump derangement syndrome, you can't be saying he's doing a good job on the same channel, even if at a different time from when the most deranged watch. So, let's get into the article here, and then we'll go from there. The last time the American job market was this strong, astronauts were still going to the moon. Exactly. This is something that should be looked at, and the left should go, okay, we fucked up. The people on the right, if they're not smug assholes, well, should stay humble. But if you're a smug asshole, you go, see, I fucking told you, bitches. I mean, because you can't argue with this. Well, that's not true. If you're one of those types that believes your feelings trump facts, you could. You'd look like a moron, but you could do it. The unemployment rate fell to 3.7% in September, the lowest level since December 1969. That's a big accomplishment. The U.S. economy added 134,000 jobs last month, below expectations, and the monthly average for the year, which also, hurricane She even admitted that. So you got to say, yeah, hey, Trump's doing a good job when it comes to the economy and jobs and everything else. The Labor Department said Hurricane Florence may have impacted job results, with leisure and hospitality employment down slightly after trending upwards over the last several months. Well, yeah, you can't exactly have, in that region, when you have a hurricane going on, people going there to vacation. The good news is the previous 2 months' gains were revised by a combined 87,000 jobs, boosting the monthly average for the past year to a robust 211,400 jobs. And it's only going to keep going. And look, job growth under Trump. February 2017. Up. March, positive growth, not as much. April, May, June, July, August, September, hurricane. October, November, December, all of it, positive growth. This is some serious shit. But the left will spurg out about it, so on and so forth. I mean, September, even with the hurricane, better friggin' growth than he had last September. And I love how they try here in the article to explain away, but in the process, they fuck themselves because they're trying to explain away this situation, but they don't realize that they're actually showing that he's doing a better job than in the 60s. It's kind of weird. It's one of those things where they're like, it looks like they're doing that and really screwing themselves. The historically low unemployment rate and relatively weak job growth numbers might indicate that employers are having an increasingly difficult time adding positions because of the availability of workers. Over the course of this year, recruiters have been more open to job candidates they may before have overlooked, such as those with criminal histories. The employment rate for people with disabilities also has jumped sharply over the past 2 months. Wage growth, however, has not accelerated. Now, this is one of their things that they're trying to... it has grown. It's just not at the rate that they want it to grow. Average hourly earnings rose 2.8% over the year, slightly above the average over the past year, but down from the last month's increase. Those numbers are not adjusted for inflation, which has been eating into wages gains over the past several months as the Federal Reserve has hiked interest rates in response to a strengthening economy. Oh, God. They're actually raising it to try to stop the economy. They're trying to starve the economy, and they're not going to do it. Because the Federal Reserve wants the U.S., they're globalist shit pigs. They're a private for-profit bank. They want to milk the U.S. for every penny they can. If the economy is doing well, they can't do that. Because people have money in their pockets. It's not going to them. Through one way or another to end up in the Federal Reserve. Because as more money is being printed, they make more money. That's why they keep the interest rates low and keep printing more fucking money. So people will keep taking the money. Well, the government will. And this whole inflation thing, you don't bring up the fact that wages for the 8 years Obama was president stayed flat and had inflation eat the shit out of them. While prices for, like, foodstuffs doubled, if not more, increased more than that. You don't want to bring that up, though, now, do you? So, look, 3.4%, May 1969. The closest it came was probably 2000-ish, somewhere around there. And Trump beat that. He smacked Bill Clinton down. He beat Billy Clinton. Keep smacking those Clintons around, huh? Gotta love that. Other measures of income have been more positive, such as real personal disposable income, which taxes which take taxes into account, and the Employment Cost Index, which incorporates the cost of benefits like health care. Andrew Chamberlain, chief economist of the on that note, they don't want to bring up the fact of the health care thing, is a lot of people who couldn't afford health care that was stuck getting health care opted to get rid of it because they don't have to pay the penalty. And they're not paying the penalty, so that's another thing that keeps it cheaper too. Andrew Chamberlain, chief economist for the employee review site Glassdoor, says the salaries people have been reporting through their platform show stronger growth than official measures indicate. Yeah. So, if people are reporting they're getting paid more in his app, sounds like they're getting paid more. It just seems like the reporting by the government's a little slowed, or there might be some deep state people trying to suppress the shit a little bit. Who knows? It's still relatively slow, but it's building. Chamberlain says, expressing confidence that the Labor Department's hourly earnings measure will break the 3.0 threshold soon. I'm not sure there's much slack left to wring out of this labor market. There could be. Because you're going to end up, especially if wages increase and you've got these people that say are going to college and going, well, not necessarily my thing, and they go and they decide to look at trades. Because one reason why, even though there was a demand for, say, trades like electricians and HVAC and stuff like that, they look at the idea as the building trades being down in general. So people might not have considered that. Now they might. So you never know. You might see some people transitioning, especially with the increase of wages, transitioning from a college education to going into just the labor force, especially with how much a college education costs. So they could wring a little bit more out, I think, especially if the wages start coming up. You might have people make a decision that, oh, I'll take a break from college and enter the workforce now. Maybe enter the workforce because the pay is good or better, and go to school part-time. Make it a little more affordable for themselves. Wall Street seems to agree. Bond yields spiked following the jobs report, with the benchmark 10-year Treasury hitting 3.24%, the highest level in more than 7 years. Wow. I remember when bonds, when I was a kid, and they were up there in the 80s, shit booming, and you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12% on bonds, if not more, depending on the bond. I forgot how low they really gone after those days. Investors are betting that there is no reason why the Fed won't raise interest rates again in December and several more times next year too. Stocks tumbled as a result. The Dow fell more than 200 points in mid-afternoon trading, which is funny. Because the idea of the stock market is to get around banks. So you don't have to go out and take loans. A company goes onto the stock market looking for money to invest in the growth of the business. I don't see why stocks would drop because of that. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. I just don't get that. I mean, so what if the Dow fell more than, 200 points in mid-afternoon trading? 200 points ain't shit. But you got to try to play that up a little bit. A little, trying to doom and gloom a good economy here. The labor force participation rate, which measures the percentage of the population that is either working or looking for work, has remained essentially unchanged for the past few months. And what's fucked up is they changed that during Baby Bush's administration. Unemployment used to include the people who weren't actively looking for work, who would work, who wanted a job type, but they were so discouraged. Which gave you a way more accurate number, because you'd have people that were forced out of the workforce. Because, like during the Great Depression they were counting, they looked at those people and counted them. Also because it made FDR look better, because, oh, look at all these people I'm helping. But one reason why they counted it because it's actually a more accurate indicator. Because, see, right now they're saying there isn't much left to wring out of the job, the employee base. But you have all these people that could come into the workforce again that decided to stop looking for work. You know, I mean, some of them are going to be retirees, obviously. You know, people who retired early and took what they could for a pension, shit like that. If they're not already in the job market. You know, someone looking for a little extra income that's retired or whatever the case may be. You might actually see some people come off disability if they can find jobs that they can support themselves with that don't conflict with their abilities, we'll say. So, yeah, there could be more jobs filled because of those things. Professional and business services remained the economy's strongest sector, with a cumulative 560,000 jobs added over the past year. Healthcare and transportation and warehousing have also continued their strong gains, adding 26,000 and 24,000 jobs respectively in September. That's decent gains. I think with how things are turning out with China and seeing how they're hacking hardware, which Bloomberg reported on, other aspects with concerns with, say, phone switching equipment, everything else, I think you're going to see more increase in manufacturing in the U.S. because of those types of things, and a shift back towards the U.S. From companies that are already out there. So you'll see new manufacturing pop up, but you'll also see companies not even doing the lip service move. You know, like, say, Foxconn and Apple and with their thingy there with the Foxconn plant situation. Because that's kind of lip service. You'll see actual moves back to the U.S. Despite newly imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum, manufacturing added another 18,000 jobs. I wonder why. Oh, because, as she mentioned, mining. And the fact that they had to fire up steel and aluminum plants in the United States. That could have contributed a little bit, don't you think? The National Association of Manufacturers have attributed continued growth to the regulatory rollbacks and tax cuts enacted last year, and their quarterly survey shows that 73.2% of their members report attracting a qualified workforce to be their top business challenge. You think? Economy's going good. People got work. You now need these skilled jobs, and the left and with their globalist bullshit wanted to turn the United States into a service-based economy. Now you need skilled labor. Look what happens. Because they did that shit. The retail sector shed 20,000 jobs, largely from garden and building material supply stores, after having showed relatively strong growth in the first half of the year. Now, did they shed them because of a lack of business, or did they shed them because the people left for better opportunities? They don't exactly specify that. So, I mean, it would be good to know that. But here you are, you have a situation where they've been doing it for so long, cutting out the people who said, fuck this, I'm done. You know, they pull the bender on the moon. I'm going to go off, do my own thing. And then they progressively get to the point where they just go, fuck that. No, I'm not even going to bother. Those ones that get like that with the workforce, okay? They could end up coming back, like I said. You could have college students that decide to make a shift. And if, like I said, wages rise because they got this in their head. The only way they can make good money is to put themselves a 100,000, 200,000, $250,000, half, depending on what they go for, $500,000 in debt. Especially if they're going for advanced degrees and shit, by the time they're done. Because Harvard, you're looking at what, 120,000 probably these days. Then if you want to go to get your master's, another what, probably 30, 40 grand. Your doctorate, probably another 50 or 60. So you're looking at, $250,000, if not more there. But if you're, say, multiple discipline, like multiple doctorates, because some of these people go, oh, I need another doctorate, and they put themselves so far into debt. But maybe you'd see some idiots that think that, but maybe you won't see people that think that they don't necessarily have to keep going to advance their education because the wages are out there, the good jobs are out there. You might see people transition to trades to fill those other positions, because if you can do construction and make more money than you were planning with your college-educated job that you have less of a chance of a guarantee of getting, people will look at that and go, well, shit, maybe I should do construction. Oh, maybe I should do welding, because welding does pay well. I've done welding when I was younger, not professionally, but I know how to do a little bit of welding, and I considered doing that because the money's there, and there's always demand for welders. I just didn't want to have the welder, like I have a heights thing, and if it was in a small shop, like building smaller shit, MIG, arc, maybe a little TIG, but a lot of those welding jobs you need to have no fear, because you're doing, like, say, structural or whatever. But so there's opportunity that there could be more coming in. They just don't want to look at that because how are they gonna explain where those people came from? But yeah, I think I've covered this well enough. I'm just gonna leave things here. Oh, wait a minute, no, I'm sorry. So let's actually look at this before we go here. I forgot to show you these because I just want to show you the best job markets and the worst job markets, and then, like I said, this down here. So one reason why I wanted to show this, because my lovely state of New Hampshire here had 2 places out of the best 20. Portsmouth and Dover-Durham, which Dover-Durham, they're 2 separate locations, okay? Durham is where UNH is. Dover's kind of a in-between commuter town between Portsmouth and Durham, and it has college students will rent in Dover and commute to Durham. The same with people from Portsmouth to save a little bit of money because Portsmouth can be expensive. So you actually have a lot of demand. It's like Dover is kind of UNH, Portsmouth, satellite, hip. It's now becoming that way to an extent. But yeah, if you look at these places, Ames, Iowa. Idaho Falls, Idaho. Iowa City, Iowa. Fargo, North Dakota. Kahului, Wikawawi, Laui, whatever, Lahani, Hawaii. I know I butchered that. Mankato, North Mankato. It's one community, basically, but 2 towns. Minnesota. Urban Honolulu. Why are they separating Honolulu from urban Honolulu? Okay. Des Moines, Iowa. Dubuque, Iowa. Midland, Texas. Rochester, Minnesota. Bismarck, North Dakota. Boise City, Idaho. Madison, Wisconsin. Pocatello in Idaho. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, like we already said. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Dover, Durham, you know, Portland, South Portland, Maine, which is funny. Portland, South Portland are like kind of like basically the idea of like right over the bridge of Portsmouth. So that's one reason why. You go over the bridge, it's kind of like a continuation of it. Sioux City, Iowa is the last one. Then you look at the worst job markets. Yuma, Arizona, national rate, 22%. El Centro, California, California, 20.3%. Visalia, Porterville, California, 8.7%. Bakersfield, California, 7.3%. Merced, California, 7%. Hanford, Corcoran, California, 6.7%. Finland, Bridgetown, New Jersey. Or Vineland. McAllen, Edinburgh, and Mission, Texas. 3 locations. Fresno, California. A lot of California here, 6.6. Beaumont and Port Arthur, Texas. 2 separate places, 6.3%. I love how they're kind of putting places together here. Madera, California, 6.2. Brownsville, Harlingen, Texas, 6.2. Hammond, Louisiana. Well, Hammond, Louisiana, people are going for their dollars. It's because 6.1%, they're really needing. I mean, Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, the District of Criminality, 6.1%. Alexandria, Louisiana, 6.1%. Sierra Vista, Douglas, Arizona, 6%. Lake Havasu City, Kingman, Arizona. Shreveport, Bossier. Actually, Shreveport, I said that bad. I've been to Louisiana. I said that really bad. Bossier. I can't even say it right to this day. But 2 separate cities, 5.9. Modesto, California. Danville, Illinois, 5.9. I mean, you look. A lot of these, California, Democrat shithole. New Hampshire, kind of libertarian, you know, minus the people crossing the border from Massachusetts to stuff the ballot boxes and shit with fake IDs and stuff like that. Pretty conservative, pretty libertarian, independent. Portland, South Portland is kind of leeching off of the whole Portsmouth, Dover, Durham thing. I mean, yeah, you look at where these places are. Tend to be conservative, Republican type places. Tends to be, I mean, you get some conservative areas thrown in there, but they're middle of nowhere fucking type places. But the California shit, I mean, hell, what does it tell you? Great places to live right now are places where conservatives run things, whether they're independent or Republican. And then you look at the jobs by market. See, they put Mass. Oh, okay, so yeah, let me show you real quick. See how they have Mass up here? I'm about to show you something really fucking shady. Whereas New Hampshire's over here. New Hampshire should be over here. Way up higher. Mass should be way down here. Now, watch what they did. See this map right here? What the hell happened? Okay. See this map right here? Let me make it full screen. The New Hampshire border basically comes across here for the most part. A little bit up like this, okay? Because right here, New Hampshire has a seacoast. Yet there's no fucking seacoast. This is supposedly Boston, Mass. Remember where I said Portsmouth, Dover, Durham? Guess what? Portsmouth, Dover, Durham is up in here. That's New Hampshire. In order to push their bullshit, that Boston has a 3.3% jobless rate. They're literally stealing from New Hampshire. They're covering hell. A lot of southern New Hampshire there. if it's along the border from, say, the 93 corridor over, somehow that's fucking Boston these days. When the state line cuts across there, the state line goes like this. So that should be a lot higher for their jobless rate. They're literally taking that Portsmouth, Dover, Durham to lower Boston. Because look at Manchester. See, this is what I'm saying. This should be a lot lower, or a lot higher. Because look at New Hampshire, 2.5, 2.4, 2.4. Just to show you what's going on here. I mean, this is some fucked up shit that they would do that. But it's shady, literally. How the hell? Oh, I didn't know you could zoom in on this. I mean, just look at this. Oh, come on. Oh. It won't let me. That's weird. I'm just trying to zoom in a little bit here so I can show you. Okay. See, the state line for New Hampshire cuts across like this, goes up like this, and then this section right here is the 12 miles, I believe it is, of it's like 12 miles of coastline that New Hampshire has. It's really not that much, but we have a seacoast. So they should be like this. Actually, it's like this. Yeah, so they literally, to get that Boston, Mass. That's so fucked up. Manchester is way too fucking big, though. I'm assuming they're going with the surrounding communities. But, yeah, to get the Boston area, the metro area, which that wouldn't be the Boston metro area. That would be, I mean, how the fuck do you claim all the way up to Maine? Portsmouth is in here and shit. I mean, Dover, Durham, all that, it's all in here. Like, Portsmouth would be about here at the state line. So, but yeah, anyway. Just goes to show how they're rigging their numbers a little bit here. They're taking the low numbers of New Hampshire for their jobless rate because, you know, we've got jobs, they don't. So, yeah. Anyway. Like, I've covered this well enough. I've shown you how they're a little shady there. I showed you how the Trump economy and where conservatives tend to run shit, how low things are. I think you get the picture, so I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.